Mike Stewart. Two experts then down on the field, two experts in studio. Lynn, who do you fancy this afternoon?
Well, I think Llanelli with perhaps one of the best line-out games in British rugby. They've got a very good scrum and a superb kicking game. I don't think you get anybody to bet against Llanelli on occasions in cup finals like this. They play a high percentage game, and that's why I think Pontypridd are going to win. I think Llanelli have had 3 weeks of high emotion.
Can you follow the Lynn Jones logic here? Because I can't make any sense of that.
For my money, it depends how Llanelli are going to play today, because they've been playing I call it a stranglehold game, where they drive you up, then they kick you back. But I think when they played Cardiff in the second half, where they actually started to run the ball and started to use their midfield in that, they look very dangerous. So it depends which game they're going to play. And Pontypridd, I believe, their whole game has changed since Sweeney is coming to fly half. He's a running fly half, whereas before I felt they played a bit deep back. You could cut them off from their forwards. So with Sweeney attacking the line and with Bryant in the centre with Parker, I think they're going to attack through there. So I think if anybody can upset Llanelli, if I was a betting man, I'd put my money on them. But I think Pontypridd is the side that could give them a go.
We shall see if you're right, Ian. Let's join our commentators, Mike Hall and Gareth Charles.
Thanks very much, Graham. Mike, the atmosphere building up here, 30,000 and more of a crowd. Roof shut though, good or bad thing?
I think it should be open. I'll just get a more feeling for a rugby game when it is open, and the conditions aren't too bad outside, so it almost feels a little artificial, doesn't it, when it's closed, and I think the players as well prefer it to be open.
You know what it is, Mike, having been here with Cardiff as captain, great day. For those who don't play international rugby, this is the big day out. Even
for those who do, Gareth, it's still a sort of a very, very important day in the calendar. The two cup finals I played with Cardiff are high up there in the memories of your career. It's a fantastic day out for supporters and the players. The big thing is you're playing with your mates. You play week in, week out in an international atmosphere, and it's very special.
Right then, let's see who are the actual 15s lining up this afternoon for both Llanelli and Pontypridd.
Yeah, I think we've got Llanelli first here, haven't we? And it's a very well-established team now. Back three there: Barry Davies, Mark Jones. We've got pace and power, Finau there as well. This is interesting to me, the centre combination. Cardi has made a remarkable return from that horrible ankle injury he had. Lee Davis is on fire at the moment in great form. Halfback Stephen Jones, Eastleigh winning the nod over the Welsh #1 Dwayne Peel yet again. And then we come to the pack, which has got a very settled look about it. Back row, plenty of power. Scott Quinnell, hope he's 100% fit, and I'm sure the Straddy followers do as well. Second row, Lynn Jones talking about that line out. That's where it comes from. Chris Wyatt, Vernon Cooper. And then again, solid, dependable front row. Robbie McBride, Martin Madden and John Davis. So a very settled look to that Llanelli team.
Pretty much the side that won the league for Llanelli. Ponty, another settled look about them. That back three, Brett Davey, so consistent. Young Matthew Nuttall coming in there, 18 years of age. And that centre partnership, Sonny Parker qualifying for Wales in August. John Bryant made all the headlines this season. Kerry Sweeney has come of age this year, and alongside the captain, Paul John. The back row, Michael Owen and Richard Parks going to South Africa, and the unsung hero, Nick Kelly from Cross Keys this season, really added something to Pontypridd. Robert Sidoli, a big find in the line-out. He'll need a big one this afternoon alongside Brent Cobain. And then that front row, Gethin Jenkins and Mevin Davis, they too on the tour bus. And Duncan Bell, the Englishman from Sale, looking forward to playing against Sale in 8 days' time. Looking forward to facing Llanelli this afternoon. It's a fair mix of Pontypridd and Llanelli supporters that give the carnival atmosphere all the fun of the fair. Everybody really enjoys this day out, young and old alike, and the Dragon had to be there in the thick of things. I think we'll find it's the old ginger monster underneath all that somewhere.
I think the big question for these...
Unfortunately for him, Barbara the sheep not going over the crossbar this time. I wonder what Neil would say about that.
Should have tried to back heel it. I remember Mark Ring doing that one. I think the question mark for those Ponty fans this afternoon with their team, 5 players now in the Welsh squad, is how good are Ponty and how good can they be? And I think, somebody alluded earlier on to the average age of the side. It is very, very young. And, if they get a win today, their confidence is really boosted and they may go on and beat Sale. Who knows? If they lose, then it's a real tough one for them next week.
They can't afford to have that in their minds this afternoon. Llanelli, Mike, well, they've had the ups and downs, the highs and lows just in the last month. Nottingham we all know about. Then they went up to Edinburgh and got absolutely hammered, came back off that to beat Cardiff here in the capital city and take the title.
That was the most amazing 40 minutes of rugby at the Arms Park, when, you know, Llanelli were dead and buried, and show the character and guts they did, and no little skill either with the tries they scored to come back and beat a very good Cardiff side that night. Was a wonderful achievement, and that will give them a lot of confidence. They're going to be very relaxed today. They've got the league in the bag, and you can see Gareth Jenkins, he's been stoking up this double, the history, because he wants Llanelli to find another big performance. He doesn't want Scott Quinnell there and his team leading them out to be complacent.
Scott Quinnell alongside the mascots and all the squad members of Llanelli just outside the changing room, those who haven't made the final 15 or the final 22. It is very much a team day, a club day. The Welsh Cup final. Scott Quinnell leads Llanelli out onto the Millennium Stadium. The Cup winners, 11 occasions, the Cup kings Llanelli. And they're looking not just for the Cup this year, but the double. And Paul John leads out Pontypridd, and a great moment for the Pontypridd captain, because alongside the mascot as well, in his father's arms, young Daniel John with Dad Paul.
He looks a bit like Dennis, doesn't he, that little one?
He does look very much like a young Dennis John, and Grandad will be proud of him. I think he's another Ponty rugby player in the making. And that is the only Pontypridd captain to lift the cup, Nigel Bezzani. We saw him earlier as part of the preparations for the team, and a lot of psychology involved, Mike. It's the top 3 inches, as they say, so important for an occasion like this.
Yeah, I think you saw the players talking about it on the bus. You know, they were trying to get themselves, well, not trying to get themselves psyched up, trying to work out how they approach it. Now, Pontypridd, they revel in the tag of underdog. They're not underdogs anymore, Gareth. When you beat the likes of London Irish, Saracens, Cardiff, and play the way they have in the last couple of months, you can't really sort of class yourselves like that anymore. And the thing for Pontypridd is, can they live up to that tag now and reproduce the rugby we've seen them been playing?
The two teams line up in front, a bank of their supporters, the red of Llanelli to the right, the black and white of Ponty to the left, as they stand in a line for the national anthem, Hen Lad Van Hade. Outgrown the baby grow, but it's the lucky one, so he's got to keep it on for the cup final. And Pontypridd are hoping that luck will last. Llanelli looking for the double that they achieved in 1993 when Emyr Lewis, his drop goal against Neath, won them the cup that year. They Hodges back in instead of David Jones from the team that beat Cardiff to win the league, and what an important influence he's been in Llanelli's back row this season.